All right. All right. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the UCSF Industry Documents Libraries virtual open house for our new website design. My name is Kate Tasker. I'm the director of the Industry Documents Library, the IDL, and I'm joined today by our archivists, Emma James and Rachel Takeda, who will be providing some demos of our new site and answering questions throughout the session. Our IDL program coordinator, Melissa, is here handling all things Zoom. So if you have any trouble with the Zoom, please feel free to reach out to her in the chat so we can take care of that for you. Please feel free to use the Q&A box that you'll find at the bottom of your Zoom screen to submit your questions throughout the webinar. We will answer these as we go, and then also have time for a larger Q&A after the demo and the walkthrough. Also want to just welcome our other UCSF colleagues and our collaborators joining us from partner institutions and express our great thanks to you all for your suggestions and your input on our redesign project over the past few years. And a note that we are recording this website tour during the first part of today's webinar, but we will not be recording the Q&A session. So for folks who are new or are joining us for the first time, just to share a little bit about the Industry Documents Library, which is a digital portal to millions of documents that have been publicly disclosed as a result of lawsuits against companies and industries that have had an impact on public health. The library got started back in the late 1990s and early 2000s with millions of documents being released from tobacco industry litigation. And we've now expanded to include millions of documents, not just from the tobacco industry, but also from the chemical, drug, food, fossil fuel, and opioid industries. We provide access to all of these documents through one portal, so they're all cross-searchable, and we'll also be showing you how to dive into a specific industry or a specific collection to narrow down your search. The site was last redesigned in 2015, and although it has remained very functional over all of this time, our team knew we needed to respond to new requirements for a more modern and accessible website interface, as well as meet some evolving user needs across all of our different audiences. All of you here representing those different audiences, which include not just the general public, but academic researchers, journalists, community advocates, legal professionals, policymakers, information professionals, and public health experts. So for these reasons, we've been embarking on a fairly extensive redesign project, which involves not just our front door of the website and the content that you see on the pages, but also the underlying software, our content management system, our search capabilities, and our server configuration so that we can support the overall function of the library. And thanks again to everyone who has been participating with us in user testing sessions, providing feedback and feature requests, and reporting bugs to make sure the site functions well for all of our audiences. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start our walkthrough here. Give me one moment. All right. So you can get to the Industry Documents Library with a quick web search or by going directly to our URL, industrydocuments.ucsf.edu. If you are able to open the site in another browser on your computer, feel free to visit the URL now so you can follow along with us and explore the site as we go. So we're looking here at the new design for the main home page, which provides access to all of our industry collections, including our flagship tobacco documents. You can go to a specific industry, a portal for a specific industry by clicking on one of the tile icons below. Or you can click on this drop-down menu to conduct searches right from the home page if you want to search a particular industry or across all industries. Across the top, you'll see menu options for resources across the IDL sites. We have a news section where you can find the latest blog posts that feature collection updates, latest research, and other information about events and workshops that we provide through the IDL. We have a resources tab, which will take you to information about general information about using the library. And I will quickly just point out a guide that we've set up called New to the Archive. This is modeled on a a guide that we've worked on with our partners at Johns Hopkins University for our opioid industry documents archive collaboration. But just as a starting point, you can find background about the IDL, some links to FAQs and search tips, frequently used documents, and other resources that will give you a foothold in getting started doing research. There's also a specific guide for our opioid industry documents archive under the opioid industry portal. There's also, of course, our help section here. So if you need to contact us or if you have any questions, this is a great place to go to just check out what might already have been asked, check out our FAQs, or some of our other help and instructional materials. And you'll also see, similar to our old website design, that we have an option to create a free library account. This is completely optional. You don't need an account to access or to search the documents. But if you're interested in being able to set your preferences for your search settings or to bookmark documents or searches for later, we recommend setting up a free account so you have that extra functionality. There is a lot to explore on the Industry Documents Library website, so please feel free to take a look at all of these guides and pages and reach out to us if you have any questions. I'm going to take us through a tour of our industry portals. So depending on which industry you might be interested in, you can jump straight to the entry point from this landing page. You are also welcome to explore all of the industries at once from the All Industries icon here. I'm going to show you how to use the site based on the tobacco industry portal, but once you've learned one layout, it's the same across all of the industries, and so it's very similar and easy to remember. So here's the landing page for our Truth Tobacco Industry Documents portal. Each industry archive has 5 main menu items, which you'll see here underneath the banner: About, Documents, Publications, Collections, and More Resources. When you arrive at the landing page for a specific industry, you'll see the About screen. This provides a high-level overview of that particular archive with quick links to content such as new collections, new documents that have been recently added, popular documents that are frequently cited and used in publications, and our latest research that our research community has produced based on the documents. The next section is documents, and I'm going to come back to this in just a moment before handing it across to Emma, who will show you how to use the Documents tab and do a document search. This is the main section where you can conduct searches, view documents, download or share them, and save them to your My Library account. I will quickly point out that we also have tools for advanced search here, as well as a general simple search box, and that there's a link here for search tips if you'd like some additional pointers for conducting your searches. The next section here is publications. This is where you'll find a list of more than 1,100 publications that have been written using tobacco industry documents. And this includes books and journal articles, news stories, government reports, documentary films, and many other types of resources. And if you're just getting started doing documents research, this is a really great place to go to conduct a keyword search, put in some topics that you might be interested in, and see what other researchers and writers have discovered in the library. The publications list will also include links to the documents that were cited, and that way you can go and look at those documents directly yourself and get an idea of some search terms that might be useful to use as you go forward. After publications, we have collections. And here you'll see descriptions of the different sets of documents that we have in the library. Under tobacco, we have over 40 different distinct tobacco industry documents collections that have been obtained from different sources, which you'll see laid out here on the page. I'll just show a quick example for our Jewel Labs collection, and these are laid out alphabetically. Each collection page provides an overview of that collection. It will show you how many documents there are, includes a quick link to view just the documents in that particular collection, and also provides background information about where the documents came from, any court cases and legal settlements that are applicable. And further down, you'll see quick guides, useful information about getting started, tools for working with the documents, and other types of related resources. So we hope you'll check these collection pages out. There's a lot of really, really helpful background information here, and it can give you some insight into some search terms that you might want to consider as you start working with the documents. Finally, I'm just going to point out the More Resources section. You'll see this under each industry portal, so be sure to check that out because they're specific to a particular set of industry documents. So for example, on our UCSF JHU Opioid Industry Documents Archive, you'll see many resources that are really, really helpful in getting started searching in the opioid industry documents. But for example, many researchers and librarians and archivists over the years have created resources such as indexes of names that appear in the documents, a project names guide, which shows which different code names might have been used for projects within the industry. So also really helpful information to get more of a context and flavor of what's in the documents. I'm now going to stop sharing my screen and pass things over to Emma, our project archivist for the Jewel Labs collection. And Emma is going to walk us through a sample search.
Hello, everyone. One moment as I get my screen share ready. Hopefully that's working. Looks good. Okay, so here we are back on our homepage, and I'm just going to walk us through a pretty simple search, which will show everyone some of the new features that we've added as well. And layouts have changed a little bit. So for people who are old-time users of IDL, hopefully this will help get you oriented. So I'm gonna go also to Jewel Labs because that's where I work for mostly. So we're gonna scroll down to the card here for Jewel, and I could, pick a subset collection if I wanted, but I'm just gonna click View Collection, and that button effectively runs a search within the collection field for all documents that have this tag in the metadata. So we have over 4 million results here. This view we call this the list view, and this may look relatively familiar. It's not too different. We have things like sort by relevance still here. A good tip is, sorting by date added UCSF newest will give you the newest documents that we have uploaded into the archive. And if I expand our metadata, it'll give you a date here. That's what it's sorting by in that case. And we also have our new filters menu, which pops out like this. In the filters menu, you can search by collection. In this case, I've already by default filtered down to the Jewel Labs collection because I picked that card and went straight there. Type, document type. This might look familiar to everyone. These are more or less the same as what we had before. And date. So if I wanted to run a simple search here, I'm just going to do a pretty common search term and run it. I've narrowed ourselves down to 278,000 or so results. So if I peruse through here, I might kind of decide like, oh, I want to see a lot more documents than just 10 per page. I do recommend you use this button here and increase your display to however many. The max is 200 that you can see at one time. So your number of pages should go down because now we're looking at 200 per page. And I have a little checklist to my left. If I look over there, I'm referring to what I'm supposed to cover. Once I've selected, more than 10 documents, I can start doing some bulk features. Like I can select all of them, or you can just kind of pick and choose a few that you're interested in looking at. But let's say I do want to select all of them, all 200. Now the bulk download feature is available. I have to be logged into my free My Library account in order to do that. Same with adding to my library. So if I wanted to save all these documents, I must log in. I will do that here. Once I have done that, I can add all of these to my library. Okay. Oh, I hit it too many times. Another feature, I can add tags. This is a very new feature to the new website. So let's say I have looked at these 200 documents a little bit and I do want to include them, or at least remember that I need to look at them. So I have a couple of tags that I added when I was practicing, but let's say I want to add a new tag to these 200 documents. So now when you scroll, you'll see there are some tags here. Some of these I added earlier. This one is the new one, Grant B. But you can choose however you want to design your own tagging system to decide if it's, how you want to leave notes for yourself about what to do with them. Other bulk features, I think would also be sharing, but we don't, I need to select them. You can also share a bunch of documents at Word if you would like. So now let's just go ahead and click into a document. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do a filter. Let's filter for emails. Let's say I want to know what the staff at this company are talking about when we're dealing with age verification. So now I'm down to 150,000 results. And if I click into one of these, we leave the list view and we enter the document view. And there's it looks a little different. We have our title up top here, and then we have 3 columns. Our toolbar, whatever the toolbar is selected will show up here, and then our document. There's some tools along the top. This one allows me to search for a key term within the document if I wanted to, within just this one document. This button allows me to rotate the view. I can expand to full size, and you can hit escape to exit that view. So again, you hit that and then you hit the escape button to get out. I can zoom in and out as much as I want. And this allows me to go, this is only a 1-page document, but I could scroll pages here. And then this allows me to see our page to full view. I can view the OCR text if I wanted, or the PDF. And then this little button here is our accessibility button. It'll tell you if the document has been remediated for a screen reader, and if it has not, it'll say it's not accessible, and then you can request it. It's as simple as that. Let me X out, move my talking screen. Okay, so on our toolbar here, it automatically defaults to metadata. And for users that have been using our site in the past, you may remember along top, we used to have all these browsing options, and those are now all under records. You can toggle this open or closed as you wish, but it defaults to open. And search results is a brand new feature that we did not have before. In the past, when you did a search, you'd look at a document, and then to look at the next document in your search, you had to hit back to search and open the next one. So now you don't have to do that. You just go to search results. We started on number 1, and now I can go to the second document in my search, or the third, etc. It'll tell you when I viewed it already, and it changes the document in real time, so I can read through them right here. And you can even start adding tags and such from these menus. So next would be browse. This allows you to browse the next documents that were ingested. So ingest order, the order they were added into the archive. Bates, we used to call that next previous Bates, and it allows you to focus in on the Bates number assigned during the legal process, and you can browse the next number. And that sometimes reveals patterns in how the legal entities were looking at documents and assigning them. So this, you'll notice we're no longer looking at emails per se. By clicking these other menus, I'm going outside of our search versus if I go back to where we started. And then more like this is our system trying to pull together metadata that is similar and gathering documents that might have similar authors or titles or dates. And this can sometimes help you find email chains, like slight variations of the same document. But perhaps we'll just go back to our original. You can also cite the document from here. You can copy and paste from here. You can also adjust which format. you want a different citation format, you can copy that and paste it to your own document. You can also download that citation here in different formats. You can add a document to your library. This one is already in there, so I can also remove it from my library right here, or I can add a new tag. By adding a tag, it automatically adds it to your library, so you don't have to click that twice. And then we have our download options. This is the same as before. PDF, our OCR text, the thumbnail image, which is shown here in the viewer, or you can download all of it as a zip file directly to your computer. And then our sharing menu allows you to copy the link, the permanent URL. So that makes it easy to share to colleagues. And then we have social media sharing as well. And then our report issues menu. If you're having some sort of issue related to this particular document, you can send us a note and then we'll reach out to you to address it. Let me look at my little list here. I think that may be all of the features that I'm covering. Okay, you can go over any last ones if I forgot any, but I think I can stop sharing there.
Thanks so much, Emma. I'm just going to share again and walk through a couple of other highlights to finish up our tour, and then we are very happy to take questions from all of you. So I will go back and just do that same search that Emma shared, and actually I can show the search and then add a filter for the collection. One other thing I just wanted to point out in the document viewer was the ability to hide some of those metadata panels to give yourselves a little bit more room to look at a document. So for example, if we were looking, we could also filter to type document email. If we were looking at a document and we wanted a little bit more room just to explore, see what is in this document. There's also this narrow panel here between the document and the information panel. And if you click on that little left pointing caret, it will collapse and then you get the document in a larger window as well. So you have a lot of control about the size of the viewer, where you'd like to see information side by side, how you want to navigate in these tools. So we are also very happy to hear your feedback about this design and look forward to improving it even further. So the other last few items I wanted to point out is Emma was showing how you can add your documents to your library to add notes and tags. Once you've done that, you can go into your My Library menu and you'll see your saved documents in this section. I've saved different documents than Emma has in Emma's account, but you can see that they're all here. You can continue to add and edit tags. You can add notes to your saved documents. And then you also have the ability to work with your saved documents in the same way that you can work with search results. You can create bulk selections. You can download, add or remove from library, continue to add notes and tags or share. There's also an ability to filter by tag. You can also save publications from our main publications list. And if you do that, then they will appear in your My Publications section. If you've saved any searches from your previous work, they will appear in your My Searches section. And your search history from your current session will also appear in your My Library account. So lots of different ways of saving your work and working with those results in a future session. I also want to point out our settings menu. So in your My Library account, you have some ability to set different preferences. If you would like to land on the About page when you arrive at a particular industry portal, just to see what's the latest news, what are the new documents, if there have been any updates on the news page since you last visited, you can select that. But if you prefer to just jump straight to document searching and you don't need to see About when you log in, you can choose to go straight to that documents page and that will allow you to search immediately. You can also choose between starting your search on a simple search page or using the advanced search option. You can set your preference for sorting criteria. As Emma was demonstrating, the default option for seeing your search results is sorted by relevance, but you can choose any other option listed here. You can sort by the newest document by date, the documents that have been most recently added to UCSF, the newest documents under date added UCSF. You can sort by title or Bates number, which Emma mentioned are unique identifiers that are applied to documents during legal discovery that allow you to see documents more or less in the order that they were used in a legal case. You can choose your number of rows displayed for your search results here. So as Emma was demonstrating, you can do that on your search results page, or you could set your preference for a specific number here. And finally, you can choose to turn on notifications for one or more industries if you'd like to get a quick email notification once new documents are being added to that particular industry. All right. The other thing I'd like to point out is our resources section. Here's where you can find information about using our application programming interface if you're interested in working with the data at scale. There's lots of information here that will give you a background on how to access our API if you'd like to download all of our full text and metadata. And also some great links to other projects which support computational use of the data that have been put together by colleagues at Johns Hopkins University and also by colleagues at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. If you would like to work with prepared data sets, we also have a resource here that gives you access to the metadata and text for a specific set of documents. Those are really easy to download, and then you can work with those data sets in whatever tool or program or system that you have yourself to do some kinds of analysis. We also are happy to share more information or resources for you if you'd like to know more here. Okay, I think that covers everything. Let me know, team, if I've missed anything, but glad that you all are here with us. We'd love to hear your feedback and your questions at this time. So I will leave the screen share on just so we can walk through any questions live on the demo. But for now, I will just turn it over to our Q&A moderator, Rachel. If there's any questions that would be helpful for us to start answering, we can jump right in.